Let's get to work. Come on.
Welcome to the Master of Trades podcast with your host, Harry Ellison.
Yeah, and we got the foundation of business right there, right? Yeah. So process, data, you can run a business that way. There's a lot of clarity. Clarity is kindness. Yeah. People feel confident in knowing what they're expected to produce, how to produce it, and whether or not they're actually achieving that mark. That would just be a great organization right there.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think more importantly, what the Bible demonstrates is something that businesses absolutely miss. If they have the data and the SOPs in place, I see so many businesses still missing the most important piece, and that is leading people and leading people with the right intention. And so we have Jesus, who's represented as a leader, of course.
Yeah.
And how does he express himself as a leader? He defines himself as someone who came to serve and not be served.
Yeah.
If you insist on being first, I promise you're going to be last. But if you are willing to be last, you will be first. It's this mentality of who are you serving? Like what good are you doing for others? He says, you fed me when I was hungry. You clothed me when I was without clothes. You warmed me when I was cold. When did we do this? His disciples said, when you've done this to the least of these, when you've done this to people who need this. So, obviously we don't have to be out there every day serving the homeless and doing all that. While that's good, there are people right there in the realm of our influence. Business owners are people. What are we doing to warm them, clothe them, and really keep them clothed? Not like you're going to give them the shirt off your back because they came with their own shirt.
Yeah.
But how do you help them produce so that their wardrobe is always full?
Yeah.
Their kitchen is always stocked. They're operating in an abundance that the Bible is very clear that we should be operating in as joint heirs with Jesus.
Yeah.
As connected to the supplier. God, who is our Father, being the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hilltops.
Yeah.
If he was hungry, he would not tell us. He owns all of it. If we're supposed to be connected with that at all, money and supply is not an issue. How are we translating that to our people to say, you've got the same resource? Yeah. If you're connected with me, you may not be someone who talks to God or has a relationship, but just by you being in my organization, you have access to it.
Yeah.
And the access to the supply is the least of anything you could access.
Yeah.
The relationship is actually the most important piece. Here, have some resource and get a taste for what it's like.
Yeah.
Business owners, this is our opportunity to really expand the thinking of our people and to be people focused first. Jesus was people focused first. Mm-hmm. He came for a mission. He had an outcome he was trying to create. He riled up political figures, law enforcement, the biggest government of all time at that point in time. Still one that we refer back to today as a guide. Just call it a story. Call them fictitious.
Just dig in and read it.
Totally fine. Just see it for what it is. It's the most incredible written work of all time, undisputed. Anybody who's honest and not a liar or ignorant will tell you this is the greatest book.
Yeah.
So read it and study this person as a fictitious character, and the power will watch what you'll get it. If you're not dense, you'll get it. But he was bold and courageous and willing to stand up for his people and obviously incredible. But he was here to serve people. And so that for us, we got to just check our intentions. Are we here to serve people? Or are we here to serve ourselves? Are we here to serve our outcomes and what we want and what makes us feel good, sensory? Or are we here to actually enrich other people's lives? He was clearly here to enrich other people's lives. The theme I see throughout the Bible, and one that's kind of frustrating when you actually have a relationship with God, is God tends to give us a vision of who we're going to become. Mm-hmm. Without giving us the entire process and read. Yeah. But it's a lesson for us as business owners to cast a vision for our people. Not a vision for what we're creating here at this company. We're the world's greatest, la, la, la. No.
Sure.
You as an individual, I see this in you. I've had conversations with you. I see your talent. And I see you developing in this way and in this direction. What's been on your heart? Tell me about your dreams. Tell me about your goals. Do you understand, business owner, how long it's been since people have been asked that question? Mm-hmm. If ever. Yeah. If they could even remember. Maybe grade school, they did a sweet second grade project on what I want to be when I grow up, and it was an astronaut. Since then, Nothing. Zilch about their goals. Spending the time intentionally to say, what are your goals? What are the things that light you up? And really digging into that so that they see a vision of themselves. And when you look at how in the Bible, God has he casts a vision for people. He gives through dreams and through apparitions or other people. Like they're very specific. Yeah. And there's something that really overwhelms the individual who's receiving it emotionally, like, oh, that hits me, right? So if you do ask your people, what are your goals? What do you want out of life? You'll hear superficial answers like financial freedom, or I want to buy a house, or I'd like to buy a house for this person. I'd like to, on vacations, but it always stays at the surface. If they say a house, it's never, I want a house in this province, this many bedrooms, bathrooms, this is the cost, this is how much down payment I need, this is how much I need to be making in order to serve the mortgage. Sure. This is what I would do with the house. Like, why even have a house in the first place? Yeah, sure. Entertaining, you can have kids. Like, when they start to explain this, you'll see that the answers come a lot less quick because they haven't thought about it. But as they do come, you'll start to see their facial expression change. As the smile, you start to see them get a little nervous, a little antsy, a little uncomfortable. They start to squirm because they're emotionally connecting with something that actually lights them up. Yeah. It's been a long time since they've gone there with it. So that's a principle right there of we've got to inspire people with a vision of who they can become to get them seeing that, again, seeing into the future. If business is going on a road trip and we're starting from Los Angeles to New York, we need an SOP, which is the directions to get there, specific highways and things. We need data to tell us whether we're getting closer. Okay, do we have GPS system? Are we in New Mexico now, or are we in Alaska? Like, what do we make the right turn?
And how long to the next stop?
Yeah.
We use data every day.
And then the vision is like, okay, we're going to New York. Why? Why does that even matter? What are we going to do when we get there? Yeah. Is it exciting enough to go through this journey? Because you're going to be spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and you're going to be in a car with a bunch of people that like you're going to get in arguments with and things. It's going to be an uncomfortable journey. Is the destination worth it? Business owner, this is what we need to tap into. I think the Bible does an incredible job with that. What a missed opportunity. Because as you're explaining this ministry, I'm hearing business, and all of it's just how to run an organization, how to build a fantastic culture. I just think what a missed opportunity it is by that organization, by its leadership. Business owner, this is scarcity mindset. Yeah. To not ask your people what they want in life because you're afraid that they're not going to say, this minimum wage job for the rest of my life, please, can I have that, sir? Like, that's not real. Right. People don't want the same thing forever. Even if it's a great thing for now, they don't want it forever. You got to expect and you got to want people to want more. Yeah. Because that is thriving. That is, your body wants more. Your body is splitting cells and cells are dying and cells are growing. And you need to have people with ambition in your organization. And it's unrealistic that everybody's going to want to stay in your company. I remember being out in the field training some technicians, doing a ride along, and I'm like, "Hey, what do you want in life? What do you want to do?" And he was telling me how he wanted to be a cameraman and actually lighting director for a studio, TV shows, movies. Cool. Want to do lighting, and I was immediately like, it wasn't conscious like, oh, you didn't say a technician forever. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Like, how can we put that into place for you? What do you need to do in order to do that? And the reason I do that, because anything that's good for me has to be good for other people. Yeah. Otherwise, if it's only good for me, it's not good for me. I'm not going to want that outcome. Whereas, like, the only way I can be successful is to just handcuff everybody in my organization and keep them. Sorry, that's called slavery. Sure. And the Bible actually says anything that you are captured by, you are a slave to. Yeah. So as, by definition, for sure, you want to keep people captured, which makes them a slave and without options. So that's unacceptable, business owner, for you not to open up opportunity, expect people to grow within your organization, with outside of your organization. So let's get back to it. Like, when he tells me he wants to eventually be somewhere outside of my organization, what I think is if I can speak into, encourage, and give him ideas on how to execute that, when he does that one day, he's going to give me a long amount of time saying, hey, in the next 3 months, I'm transitioning out. Yeah. This is not the, hey, today, I know you gave me a bunch of jobs to do, but I'm outie.
Yeah.
Peace out.
It feels
I
safe.
can't tolerate this place anymore because it doesn't align with this purpose. He leaves us in the lurch. Customers are frustrated.
Yeah.
It's a bad show to everybody else in the organization. Puts a tremendous amount of weight on everybody else to pick it up.
Yeah.
No, this guy is now inspired. Like, I would never do that to the company that's spoken to me and helped me. Hey, I got about 3 months here and I'm transitioning out. Do your people feel comfortable saying, hey, in 3 months I'm going to be out because your ego's going to flare up and no, you're fired now. And then I don't care. Our team will take care of it or I'll take care of it. It's just this ego that flares up is just incredible with business.
I've seen that so many times.
And then you see this guy who gives us 3 months to make a transition. He's going to be invested in training somebody else. Yeah, this is a great place, man. Congratulations for being smart enough to accept a job here because this may not be forever, but this is great for now. They've been great to me. And he's going to train them intentionally, make sure that they're as great as they can be. And then when he transitions out, he's going to refer other people to us. He's always going to look back at us and flow influence to us saying that place is part of my journey. They made me who I am. You'll also find a lot of people most people, it's going to be something like this. I actually don't know what my goals are because I haven't thought about that forever. They won't even have goals. And so you can start to cultivate them dreaming again. And the easiest goals for them to attain would be ones where they're already positioned to achieve those goals. And if you've got a great organization that cultivates people and has a desire to develop people, they should be able to identify some goals that within the framework and the vehicle of your business, they can achieve those goals. So most of the time it's going to be connecting people with goals that through your business they can achieve. That's so good. Which is just igniting people. And they're going to want to do other positions within your company. Great. If you're not replacing yourself in my business, you're not doing the right thing here. Like, you need to be replacing yourself. A lot of people see that's another thing scarcity-minded business owners, they demonize. Well, if you replace yourself with a cheaper person or a new person, I guess I don't need you. Are you kidding me? That is the most important person in your organization. Somebody who knows how to do something, train themselves out of it, and then step away.
You're the original copy.
Dude, amazing.
Remember the days of burning CDs? The original CD was the most valuable.
That's right.
And you're burning all these copies. Like, where do you think the copy came from?
That's it.
That person.
That's it.
Yeah. So good.
So powerful. And just the scarcity mindset, along with and you just lying to yourself that people are going to be here forever, they should want to do this forever, is just an absolute lie. It's scarcity. It's pathetic. It's weak. We need to call these things out. It's not virtuous. It's not strength, you controlling people and them being afraid of you as you walk through because you're just trying to constrict them. It's not boldness. It's not power. It's none of those things. It's actually cowardice. And we've got to the degree that we can actually ignite people on their own path, is to the degree that a byproduct of your business success is going to be just absolutely proven out and made to be much more massive so that you can step away. Business owner, you can step away because you have people who are engaged in the business, seeing that they're there for themselves, not here to serve you. Nobody wants to serve you anyways. They don't care about you, care about your brand. They may only care about themselves if you can get them there. How do we get them there? And that's the first step. I think this is a good point for us to segue out of this episode. You'll see Quest is wearing the limited edition Power Up Premier swag hat today. Over his left ear says "Captives Free." We're here to set the captives free. Those in your organization that you have made to be slaves, it's time to set them free. That's right. For you, business owner, for you to take on the weight of responsibility and you to be captured by your own scarcity mindsets that you've created just to sustain this level of success that you've created. Captives free. Your family that no longer sees you because you're so dedicated to your work and you're just grinding in this hamster wheel. Captives free. We're here to set captives free. That's what we're here to do. Man, the Bible's chock full of a tremendous amount more of business acumen, experience, education. You go in the book of Acts, you'll see the greatest launch of any organization ever on this planet. The Christian faith was literally started by just a few guys. You'll see how God choked out. It's pretty extreme, but he actually took out people who were toxic to the organization, would ultimately derail the intention and the priority of that organization being successful.
Yeah.
That's the intensity we have over our business is we protect it. We've come from too much
Yeah.
to allow bad operators to play here. We have standards, we hold standards, and we're for each other. You see a community of giving.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not communism. It's a community, a family that's made a choice to share their resource and be there for each other, knowing that resource is still flowing in. Man, it's the greatest book of all time. We'll continue to talk about it on this podcast. But Quest, such a great conversation with you today. All the masters of trades, master of trades. Now we know who the master of trades is, and will always be. Man, great episode. Thanks for joining me.
Let's do it again.